Mining CS Hassan Joho says the Kilifi Investment Conference will open up investment opportunities for the county. Now, Joho, who officially closed the forum on behalf of Azimio leader Raila Odinga, said Kilifi has huge potential to become an investment hub. He asked counties to create an enabling environment for investments for both local and international investors. Take a look.
Their partners, representatives, can we have CEOs, captains?
A big hand from the crowd of Kadali as we do this.
As we gather to explore investment opportunities, let us reflect on the immense potential that lies within our counties and the critical steps we must take to unlock it. One such step is ensuring that counties create an enabling environment for investments. We live in a globally competitive world, and investors will always gravitate towards regions offering the best incentives. Tax breaks, land allocations for strategic projects, and streamlined processes for approvals and licensing are just some examples of how counties can attract meaningful investment. Infrastructure is the backbone of any thriving economy. For Kilifi to reach its full potential, there must be close collaboration with the national government. Key investments in roads, rail, and port facilities not only improve accessibility, but also ensure that produce from Kilifi reaches both and international markets efficiently.
Well, the Kilifi County International Investment Conference that just concluded today is supposed to woo investors to invest in this particular county. Now, Centum is one of the biggest investors in Kilifi County from the private sector. I did speak to the general manager of Vipingo Model City by Centum Real Estate, Martin Kariuki, and this is what he had to say. Just take a look at the conversation. Welcome back, and thank you for staying with Weekend Prime. Of course, we're coming to you live from Kilifi County, where the Kilifi County International Investment Conference concluded today. And when we talk about investment, we're looking at equally different sectors, including the private sector. And of course, Centum is one of the public listed companies in Kenya, and it is a major investor in Kilifi County from the private sector. So let's get to know why exactly they chose Kilifi County. And joining me for this particular conversation is Martin Kariuki, who is a general manager at the Vipingo Model City by Centum Real Estate. Good evening, and thank you so much for joining us here on Weekend Prime, Martin. Straight to it. I mean, when you look at the Vipingo Model City, it is one of the major investments in Kilifi County, spanning over 10,000 kilometers, acres, 10,000 acres. So why did Centum Real Estate choose Kilifi County?
Thank you, Ashley. So Centum chose Kilifi County as the destination for a coastal model city for one main reason. If you look at Mombasa as a city, it's growing towards the north. And today, if you look at Mombasa, Nyali, and the surrounding urban environments, you can't even tell where one ends and where the other starts. Mm-hmm. So we saw an opportunity as a company, as Centum, to create a huge, well-master planned city just between Mtwapa and Kilifi, Kilifi town. And that's how we ended up with the 10,000-acre model city called Vipingo. For us, we saw an opportunity from the city shifting trends for the coast, and because Mombasa right now is getting to capacity, so the next opportunity for growth is Kilifi, and that's how we ended up here over 7 years ago. And today we are here to celebrate a milestone, and we can say that the model city is taking shape. And I'll be able to explain further as we continue with the conversation.
All right. And all through this conference, what we kept on hearing from different speakers and different speeches is the fact that these investments are not just for the county, but for the residents of Kilifi County. How does your project impact the residents of Kilifi?
So for the last 6 or 7 years, we've been developing a Vipingo model city. The socio-economic impact has already been felt by our presence, by Centum presence in Kilifi County. And I'd like to give you an example. The first phase of our residential projects, we've completed 514 homes. The construction of those homes, it meant in a typical day, we are having over 2,000 workers coming to our sites. That is now direct employment. But imagine the supply chain of the construction materials from sand, ballast. So there is a lot of indirect jobs created. Today, we have a cashew nut export processing company located in our EPZ. This cashew nut is buying cashews from the local farmers. You can imagine the impact. A farmer is able to grow cashew nut on their farm, and they're able to deliver it to our factory. So you can see again the ripple effect on the society. Very soon we are going to launch a lake gas project that is also in Vipingo development. Again, the construction of such a facility, it means that in a typical day again, you're having thousands of workers. In addition to that, since we started Vipingo Model City, every year we give a 4-year full scholarship to 50 bright students admitted to high schools, but they don't have the capacity. So we sponsor them for a full scholarship. To date, we are celebrating over 450 students who have been able to be sponsored by Vipingo Model City throughout the entire secondary school education. So to us, that is just a glimpse of the impact on the society, and we are hopeful that as Vipingo Model City takes shape, even the people who are getting education in Kilifi County will be able to come and get jobs as professionals within this model city.
All right, no investment is a smooth sailing. I mean, even as we try and the county tries and woos investors to invest in Kilifi County, let's talk about your journey. What challenges did you encounter and how exactly did you overcome them?
It is true. For any project you do, definitely there are going to be challenges. And for us, from the inception, the number one challenge we needed to solve is the issue of water. Coast generally has a challenge of water. And for us, we are looking for a sustainable solution that is also environmental sustainable. And we settled for a desalination plant, a scalable plant that as the model city takes shape, the plant can be scaled to match the need, the demand for water. So we started by installing a 3 million liter per day desalination water plant that is able to clean water from the ocean. So we can clean the water from the ocean. We never run out. So it became a game changer. It was an enabler to our project. So the first groundbreaking we did on Vipingo Model City was not for a factory or for a house. It was for a seawater desalination plant. Because with the water challenge out of the way, any investor would have found Vipingo Model City very attractive. And I'd like to give you an example. The people have bought homes from Vipingo Model City. The fact that we are able to show them where they will get their water 50 years, 100 years from now and beyond, that softens the whole conversation. Whenever we go to seek investors who wants to come and put up their factories in our Vipingo development, on top of us having the SEZ license and the EPZ location license, the issue of water is a key part of the conversation we have with investors. Because the investor now comes and says, if I have again to spend several million shillings to put up a water desalination, that is increasing the cost of me doing business in Kilifi County. But now here they come and say, Centum, through Vipingo Model City, has already solved that infrastructural challenge of water. So it becomes a key enabler to attract investors who want to come and set up their business at Vipingo Model City.
All right, interesting. And you know, the host governor, Gideon Mungaro, said his vision for Kilifi is to make it an economic hub in maybe 5 to 10 years. And when you look at the conversations that we equally had in the past 3 days, majority of the speakers equally talked about the fact that Kilifi is full of untapped potential. You've been here since 2018, I believe. You've interacted with the county and you've interacted with the communities in the county. What are some of the untapped potentials that you think investors can exploit?
Definitely, Kilifi is presenting a lot of opportunities to investors. But allow me to speak from the Vipingo Model City, where I have a bit of knowledge. For us, when you come and we look at this master plan of ours, which is 10,000 acres, we need a hospital. We need universities. You need schools. Now the president just given us, yesterday he gave us a license to operate SEZ.
Yeah.
Imagine the kind of economic activities will be generated. Those workers will need more houses. Those workers will need a school or multiple schools for their children to go to.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of opportunities. Look at, we are next to the port. And that means anybody in the import-export business, Vipingo development in Kilifi, Vipingo Model City in Kilifi presents you a very good opportunity because you don't have to incur logistical cost. The port is here and you can have your plant at Vipingo development.
Definitely.
So there are a lot of opportunities, but particularly I'll be keen on the issue of healthcare. Is still present a very big opportunity. More value addition in terms of agriculture, warehouse, in terms of people. We have investors who don't want the headache of constructing warehouse.
Yeah.
They want an opportunity where someone can take the opportunity, come to us and say, Vipingo Model City by Centum, I want to be the one sorting the headache of investors who don't want to come and put up the warehouses. So that's another opportunity someone can look at.
Definitely.
So for us, I would say there are a lot of opportunities that are there, but the most important one is renewable energy. Because I have mentioned here you have a seawater desalination plant, but the cost of power is the highest. When you look at the total cost you incur to produce water, we need investors to come and tap so that whenever there's a desalination plant like ours, there's an investor who can come and say, I want to have an arrangement where I can solarize that plant. And there's a lot of revenue to be earned because the water is for sale. And from that water sales, it means you're able to produce it cheaply. You're able to sell it cheaply. That means you can count on volumes and you can recover your money. So there are a lot of opportunities. But for Vipingo Model City, we need a hospital, we need schools, we need universities, we need more agricultural factories, we need investors in warehouses. I can go on and on. The list is endless.
Coincidentally, those sectors are equally in the key pillars in developing the Kilifi County. I mean, when you talk about education, agriculture, water, health, sanitation, all that ties into what goes on in the real estate. All right. So then, having walked that journey before others, and now that the county government plans on inviting more, what advice would you give to future investors?
The advice I would give to future investors can be looked at from two angles. The first angle is why Kilifi County? I would like to thank His Excellency Governor Mungaro because the Kilifi County is one of the few counties in Kenya where you get one-stop shop approvals. We've seen it with our development here. We can say, of course, there are a few challenges here and there, but we are grateful at least the county has tried to streamline the approval process. So even as investors come to plug into our development, we're able to handhold them and they're able to get approvals they need from the county, and some of the approvals cuts all over to the national government. In terms of investors looking forward to come and plug to Vipingo Model City, I would advise them that if you can get a place where some of the cost of doing your business has already been taken care of. And you'll allow me to use the example I've given.
Okay.
Desalination water is an infrastructure that we've spent quite a significant amount of money to put. If you as an investor, you're looking for somewhere whereby we just give you a connection point and a meter, and you have water, clean water coming into your facility, go for it. It will reduce your capex that you need to start the project, and it will also make sure that you don't have to worry about whether there will be water in 10 years to come, because the ocean is not going anywhere. So I would advise future investors. We have de-risked the Vipingo model city for you. Please come talk to us. We have a lot of insights. Okay. We have a lot of values that we can share, and furthermore, we can show you some of the gaps we have. And I would like to say, we just concluded the Kilifi County International Investment Conference. Next time we want this conference to happen in a conventional center,
yes,
located at Vipingo Model City.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of ideas that we have as Vipingo Model City that potential investors can get in touch with us. We'll share all these insights, and everyone can enjoy the environment of doing business in Kilifi County.
Finally, your parting shot, even as we conclude this conversation.
For me, I would like to conclude by saying that the true value of the wealth of a nation lies in the private sector.
Okay.
And the public sector, the county government, the national government, the role of enabling the private sector to do business is what will unlock the potential, the economic potential of this country. I would say that the private sector is able to mobilize a lot of resources, but the public sector needs to give us a favorable and a more streamlined environment of doing business. There was an example that was given yesterday by our CEO, Dr. James Moria, and he said that we can expand our tax base by supporting the private sector.
Okay.
That means if more private sector are given environment to do business, it means the government is able to collect more taxes.
Okay.
I commend the national government, led by the president, our president, Dr. William Ruto, because the SEZ, like the license he granted Vipingo model yesterday, that is a one step in the right direction, because the cost of doing business is reducing. Because when you operate in such a custom-controlled environment, ECZ, EPZ, it means your operational costs is reduced significantly. That means you're able to do your business in a sustainable way. So I would say that for me, I like the steps being taken by the Kilifi County, led by the governor, His Excellency Mungaro, and also the steps being taken by our president, Dr. William Ruto. I think all these combined together and is replicated in other counties, we should be able to have a more thriving private sector. And with more thriving private sector, it means we're able to create more values, and we're able to create more jobs, and we'll have a thriving economy.
It's a trickle-down effect. All right, thank you so much, Martin Kariuki, who is the General Manager at the Vipingo Model City by Centum Real Estate. You're watching Weekend Prime.